So today we're going to talk about how this little thing came about and all the labor. This is our daughter Selena, and this is her daddy, and I'm her mommy. Hopefully she'll cooperate. If not, then we're just going to be SOL. So she is going to be 3 months on Monday, the 28th.
Is my birthday.
Which is his birthday. So first we're going to go into the labor.
I don't know really whether to start from when her water broke or to start...
Yeah, start from when it broke here at the house.
Okay. So let me tell you like this. No, I'm going to start the day before the labor because that was crazy too. Now, she went into labor on Saturday. Friday night, we thought her water broke. Some stuff was leaking, and okay, this seems like
TMI for some people.
Well, you know, it happened. So we thinking, all right, this might be the time. This is going on. This is happening. They said nothing's wrong, nothing's going on, not even dilated, nothing. Okay, all right.
Pretty much, you know, ladies, you go to the hospital, they send you back home, you go, they send you back home, you go, they send you back home. It's pretty much what happened.
Terrible.
And I wasn't dilated, just want to insert, I was not dilated really at all. I probably was maybe a half a centimeter. And prior to that, I had got up to 1.5 centimeters. And what they don't tell you is that you can go backwards, which I didn't know that. So I pretty much went backwards. I was 1.5 centimeters, and then I went all the way back to being just a half a centimeter. So they basically sent us home.
So the next day roll over, and I'm sitting here playing my video game, minding my own business. And this woman talk about, baby, my water broke. It finally happened. I'm like,
look how she looking at you.
So all right, all right. I kind of see it for myself, and
like he saw, like it happened a little bit, and then I came in front of him and was like, oh my God, stuff is happening. And then as I'm saying this,
in front of my face,
while
I'm playing the video game on live.
But like, I didn't know that once it breaks, it keeps breaking. They don't tell you that part.
They don't tell you that.
They just tell you that your water breaks and you think that's it.
Yeah.
But that ain't what happened.
So once her water break, we taking our time. We taking our sweet old time. We've got everything basically packed already. So we go to what? Burger King or McDonald's?
We went to McDonald's.
We went to McDonald's, and it was just chilling.
We called the hospital and we told them, like, okay, we think it broke. They're like, was it a lot? How am I supposed to know what a lot is? My water never broke. I have no idea. So anyway, so being that we've been to the hospital already, like I wasn't in pain or anything, so we're not in a rush. We're just like, okay, well, if I am in labor, we're gonna be here for a while. So let me take a shower, let me eat, let me do all of this stuff, because I'm not gonna be back in the house. So we went to McDonald's. Well, first, let me tell you about this guy. He starts doing the laundry.
Hold up, what?
Yes, you started doing the laundry.
I didn't do
You
no
did
laundry,
so. You started
man.
folding clothes. Tell another lie. You started folding clothes. I mean, folding towels to be specific. And I was just doing absolutely nothing. So
why would I fold towels?
Because
at the time
that's what you was doing. Look, we're not about to get into this, but that's what you was doing. Anyway, so we took our time. Yes, he was. So after that, we leave the house. We got the cold card packed. Like, we're thinking we just gonna get sent back home. Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what we was thinking.
For those, I'm gonna rewind for a second. For those who have been pregnant or are currently pregnant and things are gonna happen, when you get close to your delivery, what happens is your mucus plug falls out. That's like you plug. I'll say it like this: when you have a wine bottle and you take the cork out, when you take the cork out, and then now the wine comes out. Pretty much now, as a woman, when you have your mucus plug, everything that was held up in there can now come out, and you're susceptible to infections and all that type of stuff. So normally, when your mucus plug falls out, it's gonna be time soon. But they don't tell you this either, that it keeps coming out. It might not come out all at once. It might just fall out as the time, you know. Girl, if you drop this thing one more time. Which is the reason why we went to the hospital the first couple times. So we wasn't thinking nothing of it, and I thought that's probably what it was then too. Anyway, now proceed. So now we're at McDonald's. Go ahead.
Oh, now you want me to talk?
Shut. I had to fill them in on the lady stuff that you don't know about. But go ahead. Oops, sorry,
I sure
girlfriend.
don't. Anyway, next thing you know, I walk in and she's coming at me again. Baby, my water broke again. I feel so nasty.
Okay, I gotta interject again. So this is what happened. I'm at the desk checking in. He's got all the bags. And the lady's asking me, like, you know, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, all them questions that people were asking me about, was it a lot, and this, that, and third, it came true. It was like a freaking waterfall just went. And mind you, there's people behind me, the ladies in front of me, I'm by myself, and I felt like I just peed the whole Niagara Falls in my pants. TMI. But that's what happened. And it was a whole lot. And so by the time when he got to the desk, I'm like, got my legs crossed the whole nine. And the lady's like, do you want a pad? I'm like,
yo, the
I think it's a little
funniest
too late
sight
for
ever.
that. Like, I think it's a little too late for a pad at this point. Like, it's, like, I'm soaked. Anyway, you get the point. So now, they're trying to get me in extra fast because now, like, stuff is really happening. She's trying to fight you. Stuff is really happening. Okay, so pretty much they take me back to triage, and that's where you go before they put you to see if you're actually in labor. So they take me to triage and they're checking me, doing all this stuff. They check our heartbeat, everything was cool. Yeah. And everything was fine, but they did confirm that my water broke. It's around 12 o'clock at this point in the afternoon.
We just waiting in there, her family get there and everything, and I just remember feeling like, wow, this is about to happen.
This is about to happen.
So I'm sitting there. I remember she was laying in the bed, you know, just was you having contractions at this point?
I was having Braxton Hicks contractions, which are like fake contractions.
She would not let me.
That's before your labor. So they're not the real ones, but they're like the little fake ones that, you know. It doesn't hurt. It just feels like your stomach tight and you got gas, but that's about it. But that was all. I wasn't having actual contractions. And they hooked me up to all of this stuff to check her heartbeat and all this stuff like that. And now they have put me on Pitocin. For those who don't know what Pitocin is.
Go ahead. Interject some more.
Pitocin is pretty much, it induces your labor. So being that I wasn't dilated again at all at this point, they wanted to try to make this go a little bit faster so I wouldn't be in labor forever. So they gave me an IV, they put the little medicine in my IV, and everything was cool at first. You are so disgusting on my hand. What they don't tell you is that your contractions, the real ones, they come a lot faster and they come a lot harder. Girlfriend, now you don't get it back. Don't be fighting. They don't tell you that it comes a lot faster and a lot harder. And what they don't tell you is, I'm here to tell y'all all the tea, because they didn't tell me jack, that you can't go to the bathroom and pee. Like, you cannot get up and go to the bathroom and go pee. Like, you have to pee in a bedpan. And then after that, they put a catheter in you because they don't want you to keep walking from, you know, with all the wires, blah, 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 blah. So they hooking me up to Pitocin now at this point. And I'm joking around with him like, this ain't nothing. I could get through this. This ain't shit. And then, let me tell y'all something. All of them, my mama, his mama, my stepmama, my grandmother, all decide they want to eat in front of me. They go to the cafeteria and get all of this good food, and him included, and eat in front of me. Yeah, and all I got to eat was a popsicle that melted in all in 2 seconds.
I didn't eat in front of you.
And all I could eat was chicken broth.
I don't remember eating in front of you.
You did. Because you're selfish. All I could eat was chicken broth.
I ate in the calf.
And that was it.
I was considerate.
Okay.
I was a considerate husband, and I ate in the calf. That's what I remember. Now, anyway, my lovely wife. I'm happy. I'm just in a good mood, good spirit. My family here. Her family's here. She about to have this baby. About time, because she was getting on my nerves when she was pregnant. Well, anyway, so her little butt will say, "What you smiling about?"
Yes, because
what
I was
you looking all
because
happy for?
I was in legitimate pain. Like, it started to hurt. Like, this is not a smiling type of manner. Like, I'm over here like, ooh. this like, and I don't understand what is so funny. Like, and it wasn't like he was across the room either. Like, he right here, just like this. Look at me, act like you in pain. You like.
I wasn't that close. Look, I mean, I was in a good space. I mean, about to be a new father. Don't know what to expect, but I'm happy to see my little baby girl, you know. I was happy, you know. And this, like we said, this was around, what, now 12:31 p.m. And I'm like, yeah, this is finally the time. So she got mad at me for that, you know.
Just to interject one more time, this was the day before my actual due date. She was due on the 28th. This is happening on the 27th.
So go ahead. Right. So this was a pretty extensive labor. But what happened was they started putting her on this medicine because the Pitocin, I don't know what it's called.
They have
too many big Pitocin. Words. That it was getting too much and she was really going into a lot of contractions and a lot of pain. So they put her on this medicine that made her a little woozy and
they said, we're going to give you something that you're going to feel the contractions, but you're not going to care about them. Didn't understand what that meant. And I don't even really remember this. Like, I remember, but I don't. But they put it in my IV, and then
basically she was getting really loopy and stuff, and it was funny, you know. And at that time, it was like very good times because she was actually smiling now, and she couldn't really feel anything. She couldn't feel it. She actually said she could feel the pain, but she didn't really care. And she said a little cuss word. I'm not going to say it, but she was like, I don't give a f-. So I thought that was funny. Me and my mom, we started laughing about that. And yeah, you did. you was funny. You was funny when you was on that medicine.
I don't remember any of this. So I didn't want to have any type of medication.
So what she was saying was about the epidural. When she got the epidural, that's when things really started to get bad because she was really nervous about it. She has back issues and one of her spines. I'll let her tell that part, but something's wrong with her spine. And so when she was getting it and I was holding her hands and she started to cry, it was like literally the hardest thing I had to see. I love this woman wholeheartedly. Is literally the toughest and bravest woman I've ever known. Like, honestly, like, she told me the stories of what she'd been through. She told me some of the things that happened to her physically, what she's been through, and man, it's amazing. It's amazing what she's been through, and she's the way she is, you know. So literally, she is the toughest woman. And I just see her break down. At this point, she's in so much pain. She's getting this epidural. She's scared. She don't know what's going to happen. And I didn't cry. But I did get teary-eyed. It's a difference. I got teary-eyed. There was no tears dropping on this lovely face. Anyway.
Lovely face.
Anyway, so that's what I remember the most, was seeing her in that much pain, and that as a man, as a husband, that's something you never want to see your wife go through.
So basically what happened was, at this point, I wasn't dilating at all. Still, this was about to be a long process. Like, we was going to be here for a minute. So I didn't want any medication at all from the jump. Like, I originally wanted to have a water birth. I didn't want to be in a hospital. I didn't want any medication. I wanted to do this at home, in the pool, chilling. My family had other plans. So I go to the hospital, and we're here now. And the pain was, you can't really explain what it's like unless you've been through it. Like, it wasn't normal contractions. It felt like something different. And so the doctors were like, we need to give you this epidural. My husband and my mom is like, we need to give you this epidural right now. you're in too much pain. And I'm like, no, I can do it. Because in my mind, we're going to be here for a while. So I don't want to get it. And thanks to one of my friends, who's going to remain nameless, but you know who I'm talking about, told me that the epidural ran out. So now I'm freaking out. Vanessa told me that the epidural ran out. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get it right now. But I listened to them and I just said, forget it. Let's do it. So, of course, one thing about me that I was nervous about, that I don't know if he mentioned or not, was that I have a really bad back problem. And so I have a bad back problem. It's common, but it's bad. So pretty much I have a slip disc with an exposed nerve in my 4th and 5th vertebrae. So I was freaking out the whole time about getting epidural because I didn't want to wake up and be paralyzed or something bad to happen, and now everything just goes to shit. So I was crying, and because pretty much at this point, like, the moment has come. Not labor, but the epidural is what I was most afraid of. Not for normal reasons, but for my own reasons. So pretty much they had me sit on the edge of the bed, and he's sitting in front of me. My feet are on his knees, and I have to hug a pillow, and I have to go like this. So pretty much I'm sitting like this, just hunched over, and he has to hold my shoulders down. And then so they give me, you know, they clean it all up, and I'm just like, they made everybody leave out the room, and it was just me and him and the doctors. So before they stick me, they go, once I stick you, you're gonna feel like a shock in your legs. So I was like, okay. So they do it, and I jump, and during the epidural, you cannot move. Like, you cannot move. So I scared myself even more and was like screaming, crying, and my eyes were closed, and I open my eyes, and I see this kid right here.
Yo, that's not how it was. Okay.
It was though. So then at this point, I'm like trying to still wiggle my feet, trying to still move my legs and all of that and everything. So that was fine. They put me back in bed. But let me tell you though, that sucker worked. Because as soon as I got back in the bed, auntie, I didn't feel a thing. From the waist down, I ain't feel jack. But right after they gave me the epidural, then they gave me the catheter and put the catheter in there. So, because if you can't feel nothing, then you just gonna pee on yourself. And you don't want to be a dirty girl. So, they put the catheter in. Because I had the epidural, I didn't feel the catheter at all, which was nice. And you don't even, like, I always wonder when people get catheters, like, do you have to pee? Or, like, do it just come out? But it just came out. So I didn't have to do anything. It was just there. So I had to sit up and spread my legs and do all this stuff. So now the catheter's in. And I was scared of that too because I had never had one before. So I'm crying still. And I think now we're at about maybe 8 o'clock. So we've gone pretty much 8 hours. Maybe, I don't really remember times at this point.
Oh yeah, we don't remember times.
But all I know, we still got a long way to go. We didn't even know it. So, we kept, like, our parents came back in the room, and pretty much it's just the moms. It's his mom, my stepmother, because you can have 5 people in the room up until you're about to deliver, and then, at least for my hospital anyway, then you can have 3. So everybody's in the room, and they're like, when are they going to check you? So my mom gets somebody and calls them to see about checking me to see if I'm dilated or not. At this point, I think they came in to check me, and I was, I think, just touching 2 centimeters. Like, I still was not making any progress. So now so they gave me the epidural, and there's another thing that they don't tell you, but it's common for a lot of women, at least the women that I've talked to. Being that I was on a certain side, because when you're in the bed for a long time, like, you want to adjust. But being that I was on a certain side, the epidural did not get to my left side. It was only on my right, so I couldn't feel my right side, but I could feel my left. So they wanted to flip me to my right. They wanted to flip me to my left, I'm sorry. So I had to stay in that position for like another 2 hours. But at this point, I don't know, I don't have no recollection of time. Like, I'm just there at this point, but everybody else is just waiting. So they flipped me over to my left side, and she's kicking and moving and doing all of this stuff. But I can't even tell you if it's 2 hours. I don't know what time it was at all. But all I know is that I'm on this side, and I'm in this excruciating pain. And I'm not supposed to feel anything. But I don't know what it was, but I had this really bad pain in my back. And I'm telling him, and he's like trying to get it out, trying to massage and trying to do the most. And it's just not helping. like at all.
Just want to make sure my baby girl's okay. So, and I remember this at this point in time, it was like 2:30, I want to say, um, or somewhere between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. And I got up. I tried to fall asleep. I couldn't really fall asleep. Worried about her too much. The bed I was on, I was sharing it with my mother, so it's really uncomfortable. I'm a big guy, and it was uncomfortable. So I had to use the bathroom. Went and used the bathroom. As soon as I came out, I see about 3, 4 nurses standing by her, and her mom is up now. I'm just standing looking over her. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? He said, okay, her heart rate keeps dropping and stuff because of the and so we're gonna have to do a C-section. And I'm like,
sorry, I have to interject one more time.
go ahead.
Prior to this, they're telling me the possibilities of what's going on. I'm like drunk at this point. Like, I don't know what's going on. I have signed papers that I don't know I'm signing. But obviously it wasn't nothing crazy because they want to let me sign it. And so I'm looking at the monitor and I can't feel the contractions anymore, but I can see them on the monitor. So being that I can see her, I can see that her heart rate is dropping every time I had a contraction being on a Pitocin. So they're taking me off the Pitocin, putting me back on, taking me off, putting me back on. And they did this for a while now. And so finally they came back and checked me again at like maybe 2:30. Well, I'm not even gonna say 2:30. I'll say 1:30, and I was only 4 centimeters. Like, now I'm not really even progressing at this point. Mind you, we came to the hospital 12 o'clock this afternoon. So now, so the nurse comes and tells me, she says, we may have to give you a C-section just depending on, you know, what happened. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. At this point, just get the baby out. What my mom tells me later is that they brought in student nurses. I don't know the proper name for them, so excuse me if anybody that does that. But they bring in these student nurses, and they're supposed to ask the patient, me, for permission to, you know, to look over you, blah, 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 to assist the actual doctor. That didn't happen. So then my mother's already pissed because they didn't ask any permission. In her words, they watched over me as if I was like a test subject. Like, the doctor's giving them all my information, telling me everything about it. And I don't even know that this is even happening at this point. So that's what he's talking about, that he comes in and he sees these people doing the thing. So then they come and tell me, we're taking you back. Oh, before I say that, at this point I'm watching the monitor again, and her heart rate just goes boom, like it drops. And as soon as that happens, everybody just gets all frantic, because I guess the monitors lets off an alert in the lobby. So the nurses come in, the doctors come in. And side note, the doctor who was that delivered me as a baby from my mother was supposed to deliver my daughter, but doctor's on call. He was not on call this week, and that's what happened. So yeah, anyway, so the nurses come in, all this good stuff, and they're like rushing at this point. So I see him throw the scrubs to you. I see him, and somebody's like, who else is going in with her? And my mom was like, I'm going in. Like, that was just non-negotiable. So then they took my, they put something in my IV to make me numb for surgery. And so after that, then they take me in the back. They take me into this cold room. He doesn't know what happened at this point because he's sitting in the lobby. Not the lobby, but whatever, the little...
Man, the longest 10 minutes of my life. They told me, okay, it's going to happen in 10 minutes. We gonna get this thing going, da-da-da-da. I see nurse after nurse go in, come out, go in, come out. Me and her mom just sitting there like...
And I'm in this room.
What's going on?
It looked like if you ever seen those scary movies where they drug the person and they literally like can't move, but they see everything happening around them, that's how I felt. It was literally a white room, and it's these nurses standing around me, all women by the way, didn't say hi, how are you, blah blah blah. And at this point it's 3 o'clock.
These people are rude.
Yeah, rude. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning at this point, so I'm exhausted. Everybody's tired. So I'm sitting there, and excuse us keep getting up back and forth. Baby girl is chirping. The life of a parent. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting on the bed, and so pretty much the first medicine that they gave me to numb me did not work. Did not work at all. I'm still feeling everything. They're like testing my legs, blah, 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 blah. I still feel it. So I'm sitting on the table and we have to do this whole process again. So they had to take my epidural out and give me a spinal tap. I knew nothing about this at this point. They asked me how I felt about it, and I'm like, I mean, do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job. So I had to do the whole thing again. Sit, hold the thing. The nurses are holding me down, and I'm scared at this point. But once again, it's like, you can't move, you can't move, you can't move. So then they say it again. You're gonna feel your legs shake. You're gonna feel this. You're gonna feel that. So I'm like, at this point, F it. Like, I'm tired. Here we are. So they give me the spinal tap, and now they lay me back. They strap my arms down, and they're like, can you feel this? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? And I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. And the nurse is like, well, can you feel that? So she's doing each leg. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel that too. So then she does it again. I was like, yeah, I mean, I could kind of feel it a little bit. I don't know. Well, you said before you could feel it. I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of numb now, but I don't know. Like, I kept going back and forth because I don't know what I'm supposed to not feel. Like, am I supposed to not feel you move? I mean, am I not supposed to feel you not touch me? What is this supposed to feel like? So I have no idea. So pretty much, she lucky I was drugged, because if I wasn't, like I was saying, the lady lucky I was drugged because she was going to get it. So anyway, so they lay me back down, they strap me down. And at this point, then they come in. And they had this arm strapped down because there's nobody on the side of me. They come, him and my mother come in. He's right next to me. My mother is sitting on the wall pretty much. But her view is like everything. Like me on the table, all of that. He's sitting next to me, and I tell him to hold my arm down. And I'm shaking. Like, the room is cold. I'm shaking.
Yeah, the room is definitely cold.
Go ahead.
And I peeked. Don't peek. If you ever in a room with a woman getting a C-section, especially if it's your wife,
Don't look over the curtain.
Don't, because I saw, is it too much? I saw
all the stuff that's in your body.
They lifting parts from my wife up, and it will do not peek. It's bad, and it'd be stuck with you for the rest of your life. But at this point, we're in it, I'm like, okay, hurry up. Like, let's get her out. I want to see what she look like. I want to see how she is, Next thing you know, they said, okay, we're getting there. You're going to feel a big, what
they pretty much pushed on my stomach. So I'm laying down, and it was like, you're going to feel you're going to feel some pressure. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So they push down, and I go, ugh. And
then we just hear, like, one well.
Prior to her coming out, the reason why they wanted to give her the C-section was because since her heart rate dropped so much, they thought maybe the cord was wrapped around her neck. They thought it was wrapped around her foot, and the blood, she wouldn't get enough blood, blah, 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 blah. So they were expecting for something to happen. When this chick came out, what's wrong with her? She came out, and she, eyes wide open, looking like, hey, what's up? Good morning. It's my birthday. I'm here. And then that was it. No, really. Like, she didn't.
Every time a camera was on her, every time you put a phone on her to take a picture, she just looked and pose and just, we like, really?
Whose kid is this?
Who is this?
I mean, I'm not going to say we not photogenic, but. So, that's pretty much what happened. So then they take it to the table and they sew me up. But go ahead.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Pretty much sew me up. And then after that, they take you to recovery. So I'm still out of it at this point. They put her on my chest, and I didn't really know. It was like, I knew what was going on, but it just was so like, what just happened? Like, I just had a whole baby. Not a half one, but like a real live human baby. Like, I can't leave her here. I gotta take her home with me. Type of baby.
Like, we gotta feed her.
I gotta take her, change her, feed her. And it was just.
We gotta play with her. We gotta calm her down. We gotta.
All that. We are parents.
We don't know what we're doing.
We're parents. At all. We're mom and dad.
It's still weird.
Mom and dad. Like, when they say, here, mom, I'm like, who are they talking to? Like, and I'm looking at my mom like, they talking to you.
And it's funny because I had that moment where they said, Okay, Daddy, here you go. I'm looking at your father like,
They
what's he
talking
about
to
to
you.
get?
Like, what you
Oh,
want?
me? Oh, shit. I'm a new father.
But no, for real, like, it's shocking to you. Like, people
Yeah.
expect you to have this, like, instant connection with your baby. And don't get me wrong, I've loved this little person since before I even knew who she was. But the connection of, I'm a parent, that's my baby, that don't happen just yet. Like, I don't know if it was because of all the drugs that I was on, because I was on a lot of stuff. I had the epidural, I had the other little medication they said I wasn't going to care about my contractions. I had the numbing medicine for the surgery. I also had a spinal tap. And I also had like some other little pills and stuff that they was giving me. So at this point, and it's 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, I'm out of it. So I tried breastfeeding while she was on my stomach, and she had a good latch. For moms that are trying to breastfeed, she had a really good latch, but I don't think I was producing enough. Like, I don't, during pregnancy, like, people, their milk comes out and stuff like that. Mine's, that didn't happen. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to breastfeed or not. And that was one of the things that I was so I didn't know if I was going to be able to breastfeed or not. And I guess I did. I don't know. But I guess she was getting enough. I don't know. I have no idea how all of that happened. So they take me to the regular room now. And the family's starting to come in. The family's starting to look at her. Blah, blah, blah. She's so cute. Blah, 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 blah. And what happened at this point? So pretty much now I'm just recovering, and it hurt like crap. And it really didn't hurt. It's just sore. So typically they want you to be in the hospital for a while, like for a long time. I left in 2 days because the way my husband's job is set up, he had to be to work immediately and not have like time off. But that's most guys. Like, I don't know any guys.
I could have had time.
He could have had time.
It would have been.
There would have been repercussions for him taking that time.
Yeah.
We didn't want that. So we just said, okay, fine. And being that it was the weekend, it kind of worked out because
3-day weekend.
Yeah. Because it was Memorial Day weekend, so he was off that Monday too. So it worked. So he didn't have to go back to work until Tuesday. So it worked out.
See how perfect my baby is? She came on the 28th, just like her daddy. That's nasty. Take that somewhere else. Y'all hear her? This is, hey.
You're on camera. When you get older, I'm gonna show you this. I don't know if y'all heard that. So anyway, pretty much that's what happened. So I left the hospital in 2 days, and I had to, they pretty much, and what I thought was gonna happen didn't happen. They want you, for everybody else who have C-sections that I've talked to, they want you to use the bathroom before you can leave the hospital. That wasn't my case. They just wanted me to get up and walk. So guess what your girl did? I got that ass up and walked. I was not about to stay in that hospital, and I had to get up and go. I didn't like that. Cause then they take the baby. This is what I don't like about hospitals. And if anybody works in a hospital, in a nursery, I don't like it. Why do y'all ask me, do I want to take my baby to the nursery so I could get some sleep and recover? But yet y'all bring her back every 2 seconds, which is fine. I love my baby and I want to see it to feed in that part. That's not what I'm upset about. But it's the other one, cleaning the trash, checking my vitals. I'm fine.
I mean,
can I sleep for a second, please and thank you? But that didn't happen. I might as well just kept the baby for all that.
Now that was a rough night. I mean, we've been up all night the day prior.
At this point, I was in labor for 18 hours.
Okay. Anyway, we got up at like 10 a.m.
We got up before that.
Saturday morning.
We got up before that.
We got up before 10 a.m. Saturday morning. And we've been up literally all day, all night. I mean, every hour.
On the hour.
It was them asking her questions about the baby, asking her questions about herself. Then the baby would roll in the feed. And then the cleaning lady would come in, and then it would just go rotate all night. And mind you,
when they brought her into feed, you don't just feed a baby and give her back. She fed for like 45 minutes to almost an hour. So I never really got any sleep to begin with, but then those hours that I had to sleep. So essentially we're up.
And here's the thing that really pissed me off. And I understand you gotta see and stuff and whatnot. They flipped that light on, and it's like, hey yo, you gotta be serious. You can't be serious. Like,
and the beds are not comfortable. The chairs are not comfortable. It was bad.
I basically sat or slept on a windowsill.
No, really.
Really.
With hard cushions.
With hard cushions. But I pledged, so ain't enough for me. But anyway, it was that light that kept pissing me off. Like, you just flick on the light and...
Anyway, so that's pretty much what happened. I went home and I'll talk about coming home another video.
On another time,
because that's another story in itself. The recovery from a C-section is no joke.
Yep.
Ooh, child. Ooh, girlfriend.
So,
that should be 3 months. Almost.
The advice I will give is bring multiple clothes because you don't know how long you're going to stay. I had to leave pretty early because I had to go to work and I had to go home and get my uniform together and whatnot. So I didn't get the luxury of bringing as many clothes as I wanted to, and I knew that was going to happen. Also, I would bring, of course, you already going to have your phone on deck, earphones, snacks,
computers,
water.
Waters.
Definitely bring some water, whatever drink. Oh no, you can't. You can only drink water, right?
Yeah, I only could have. They gave me ginger ale every now and then.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, only because I was nauseated. Like I couldn't have anything to eat. So essentially, I didn't eat anything except for the McDonald's that I had at like 11 something earlier that morning. So I hadn't had anything at all. And I still couldn't have anything the next day after I had her because I had a weak stomach. I just had surgery. So it was crackers and ginger ale, water, and chicken broth. And that was pretty much it. And the chicken broth, like, I barely could even have that. They didn't even want to give that to me. Welcome to parenting.
Well, if that's all the advice I have.
That's all, homegirl. What's the deal? Go to your daddy. Besides the obvious, go on, daddy, handle that poopy diaper.
Sound like the gas house.
Before I go, take pictures, videos. All y'all be blessed. Have a nice day. We'll be back. See ya.